Hello, I'm Sally, and today I will be discussing the painting Stern. Do you want to look away? You close your eyes and you can still see her. A glowing image burned behind your eyelids. Does it scare you? How an image can implant itself into your mind, and the more you try to forget it, the brighter it becomes. I cannot answer this for you. It is what you see that matters, and what you feel that counts. This haunting, ethereal painting morphed onto canvas in 2004. Stern, by South African-born Marlene Dumas, is named, not for the woman, Ulrike Meinhof, it depicts, but instead the name of the political newspaper in which this image first haunted readers in Germany in 1976. Thus, should more focus be on the political implications of the newspaper rather than the artistic techniques themselves? Ulrike Meinhof was a journalist and founding member of the left-wing militant group, the Red Army faction. She participated in multiple violent movements and was arrested on several accounts of murder. She was a criminal. But here, she is just a woman. Is it possible to hate a face? Or are words not enough to overcome the deep-rooted human drive for empathy? The image was then reappropriated by German artist Gerhard Richter in his 3-painting series called Dead. Then, Dumas quotes his work, creating the image we see today as Stern. As this image has been reused and reimagined in multiple different ways, it causes a feeling of familiarity within oneself. Why do I know this piece? I can't tell you a single thing about her, but I know her. The reason why, lying elusively on the tip of your tongue. This is the masterful effect of well-crafted phenomenology. Phenomenology is the study of a phenomena, a hard-to-explain event, as they manifest in our experience, how we respond, understand, and react to phenomena, and the effect it can have on our subjective experience, our emotional and cognitive response, as opposed to the impact of the event on our actual lives. As this is the third instance of Meinhof being used to relay a message, it will cause feelings of indescribable feelings, emotion, confusion, and the verge of recognition. Dumas is able to unlock hidden feelings you didn't even know you had. It goes to show how much of an impact your past can have on you. How deep sentiments can affect the way you think and act throughout the entire course of your life. This painting currently looms over you at the Tate Modern in an almost intimidating fashion. The face of a dead girl, lips still black with suffocation. We know who she was, but perhaps more importantly, where is she now? To make someone think is one thing, but to make someone feel is a new gift entirely, and Dumas does this to perfection. You do not cry, but when I first saw this image, I was overcome by a wave of emotion. I have never had a painting silence me before, but only silence did justice to the emotion it evokes. You want to hear her last breath, cling on to the final words uttered from her cold, lifeless lips. Never has her silence felt so loud. And silence will always terrify humans. We are scared of the unknown, and through our fear, we foolishly believe we can know everything, when in reality, the more answers we find, the more questions it unlocks. When you die, the brain shuts down, neurons wilt, useless and empty. But where does your soul go? What mysteries lie ahead? And is it life or death that we should fear most? Dumas uses oils to give the smooth, waxy complexion of death, but at a closer look, she also radiates a blue-green glow, a haze of energy, as if her soul lingers, uncertain of where to go. I interpreted this as both a question of science and religion, and how they can often be held together, hand in hand. The glow of energy reminded me of a black hole and the photon sphere around it. And then comparing that to religion, where hope is a very powerful symbol. Light is a powerful symbol. Hope, joy, and life-giving power. Is Dumas suggesting that life is a time for loving and joy, and with death comes the ebbing away of these wonderful emotions, a memento mori perhaps? Or is it darker still? Is Dumas suggesting that death is what brings on such power? And Meinhof is now absorbing this power for the eternal existence that comes with the beginning of death. Light, death, life, dark, these stark contrasts reach out from the painting in such a simplistic and beautiful way. This is very similar to artist Caravaggio and his use of chiaroscuro that give depth and meaning to a piece beyond the realm of two-dimension. Dumas' use of the bold colours have been interpreted to be a reflection of her past, growing up in apartheid in South Africa. At a time where chaos and oppression were rife, she was a first-hand witness to these atrocities, and her emotions come through strongly in her work, turning her into such a passionate artist. Dan Cameron comments how she likes to go directly to the heart of the problem in her work, which, even in the most tolerant of times, is practically a guarantee that one will end up being misunderstood. And here, we see more than just a woman. We see a divide between races, between cultures, between people, that Dumas is trying so hard to heal. She chose these colours for a reason. They are staring right at you, right into your eyes. This is not a problem we can shy away from. This is something we must face. Other critics have explored the pose of the woman, head tilted, eyes closed, lips parted, and the sexual reference this entails. Critic Elizabeth Manchester discussed the imbalance of access when viewing a painting, how women have constantly been an object for the male gaze, and this has been widely accepted. Here, Dumas challenges this. The reasoning behind her positioning is hazy and dangerous. Is it a moment of ecstasy before death, or sexual torment leading to the end? Only Meinhof will know. But the message is clear. This moment is for her and not for you. Her pain or pleasure is for no one's gratification. She does not need words. Her face is loud enough. I am brave, I am strong, and as I die, you will have the respect to be silent. To close your eyes. To give me the time to die in peace. No words, no sound, and yet the power is in her hands. Such empowering imagery is not just by Dumas, but of many female artists all around the world, and it is a sign of the changing times in which we are living. Professor Griselda Pollock discussed how virtuality is the attribute of feminism as a project still to come. And here we see just that. Feminist artist, activist, thinker, asking questions of us all. Now, I could talk about what I see in her work for hours, but the truth is, what I see is only one perspective. You see what you want to see. Only Dumas knows what the painting is truly about. So I will leave you with her words. Think about it again. She is a woman. a journalist, a criminal. She is death. What is it that you really see? Have I swayed you to see something you didn't before? And do you believe it is the truth? That is the journey of life towards death. More questions, less answers. Thank you.